Okay, everybody, Game Cooker US Rocks VR here. How y'all doing? I'm in Cyberpunk 2077, testing out the RTX 3090 with the path tracing ray reconstruction. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm just going to go through the resolutions here, walk around a little bit during each one. My game might crash because I got mods in, so hopefully not. So right now I am at, it's a little hard to see. I'm at 1080p DLSS quality because you have to put it on that. DLSS ray reconstruction. And you can see path tracing is on and everything's on high ultra psycho. So it's at the high settings as far as I can tell. So we're at 1080p. And this is a pretty rough spot area here. You can see we're getting like, you know, mid to upper 50s here, sometimes lower, like right at this spot. It's pretty rough here. So definitely playable at 1080p with the ray reconstruction, and everything looks pretty good. You know, you can see the reflections there. Everything looks pretty nice. Lighting looks pretty good. They won't let me fast forward time. I guess when I was over in the other area they were letting me do it, but I guess since I'm over here they want me to do the quest. So we're like in the low to mid 50s here with 1080p.
Hey!
It's a little dark there. Wonder if we can look at somebody in the light here. I don't know. Whoa. She got no hair. But you can see the shadows
lost,
there.
Honey? We got a problem?
Nope. So right here it's pretty rough for some reason. So if we run, we might go like in the 40s. Yeah, like just briefly. But most of the other area of the map,
¿Llegaste hace poco?
you know, like the other areas I was getting near 60, upper 50, 60 for pretty much most of it. It's just certain areas for some reason are not, you know, super optimized, I guess, or something. I'm not sure. Then of course the more NPCs you have on the map, you know, the more you're gonna see the nice lighting here. Looks pretty good. Reflections. You know, the smoke is diffusing properly, or at least pretty close.
70%
Hello, hello.
Slaughterhouse.
Hey, dude.
Satisfy your instincts.
What do I say?
He's got a gun in his hand. Wow. He's He ain't looking for any trouble. Anyway, the game looks pretty good. So it looks pretty consistent. Low to mid 50s.
What do you want?
All right, let's turn up the heat. GPU's staying fairly cool. The CPU's up there. You know what? I need to save it because if I crash, then I'm gonna have to start all the way back where I was. All right, so we're gonna go up to just 1440p. So 1440p, we drop down to, it'll take a little bit of time to adjust. Yeah, so it looks like we're in like the mid to upper 30s. Definitely looks a lot better at 1440p than it does, you know, at 1080p, without a doubt. It looks like we're staying in the mid 30s, we'll say. Over here it'll probably drop down to like 30. But you can see the lighting is pretty good. Lighting on them is pretty good. Over here it'll probably drop quite a bit. Not too bad though. Now you can see the CPU is working less now. Hey.
Oh, I thought you were someone else.
Oh.
Look at the cigarette floating in the air.
Hmm.
The models look pretty good.
The fuck you smiling at?
So mean.
You just taking a stroll?
She's like leaning on nothing. That's very funny. Very, very funny. I never went inside here. I don't want to crash though. Alright, so in here, it's dropping around 30. But I mean, we're staying pretty good.
So,
Need to fuel up.
what I get for you?
You got anything good or just junk? Just junk. Always junk.
That delivery
Yeah, so this is probably like whenever you're in these marketplaces, it's pretty.
I'm not afraid of anyone, you know?
The marketplaces are always pretty rough. You know, when I'm standing still you know, it's like
Something we ain't got.
30, 31. When you're moving though, you know, it's gonna drop down. Like if I run through here. I mean, it's holding pretty steady, actually. Can't jump up, huh? Can't jump off the railing. Come on. The ceiling's too high, huh? Yeah, so we're holding pretty steady at 30. I guess it's adjusting. It's only when I stop that it kind of... See, if I stop, then it has to adjust. Yeah, so 1440, I guess worst case scenario, 30. So now we're gonna go to 4K, baby. Woo, baby. 4K. So we're gonna wait for it to adjust. So 4K, we're getting 18 frames per second. Over here, it's probably going to go down more. Yeah, 15. Looks like 15 is going to be like the limit. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make an adjustment because that's obviously unplayable. We'll go down to, say, I don't know. Let's try balanced and see if that does anything. Nah, it's not quite enough. See, and I am recording too, so you know. I forgot to mention that. So you should add like 20 to 30%, you know, onto the FPS. I would say maybe 5 to 10 frames per second. You know, because I'm recording, so it's using up some of the resources. So it looks like balanced is not quite enough. So we'll have to go to performance. So let's go to performance. See if that's gonna be enough. Nope. So performance is not enough. So you're better going at 1440p native. So that's kind of weird, right? I don't really understand that. But I don't think that people understand how this ray tracing or DLSS works with the ray reconstruction. I think it's working totally different. See, like if you go out here, you probably can play at nearly 30 frames per second. Out here you can do 30. No problemo. So you're better off doing native. You know, native would be better. So now I'm going to try the desktop resolution, which is 4,224 by 2376. All right, and then I'm gonna put it on ultra performance. Let's be realistic. So ultra performance. Wow. See, I think the settings are broke here. Sorry about my sniffling. Man, the weather's changing. Now that's weird, right? Alright, so now we're down at 24 frames per second, so that, I guess that makes more sense. But, you know, going down to ultra, I mean, that took us up to the 40s. That's weird. That's very weird. Now you can see things changing, see? Like slightly when you're moving. That's probably because it's upscaling. No, I mean, the game doesn't look terrible, but it's just, you know, when you're scaling it up that much, it's you can see the noise. Like, I think it has a hard time scaling up the lower resolution to the higher with the noise, you know what I mean? It's got to do a lot of calculations. Now it's obviously scaling up pretty easily because it's, you know, I'm at 46 frames per second here, you know? So, I mean, if you did have a big screen, you know, and you had to play at a high resolution, I mean, it could work. In here, we're in the upper 30s.
I don't recognize you. Just passing through.
So they have a little dialogue, extra dialogue, I think.
You lost, honey?
You know, when you're standing still, everything looks fine. You know? I mean, it really doesn't look bad, though, at all. I mean, it's a lower resolution than I would prefer to play, but it actually doesn't look really bad at all. It's like FSR, ugh. Like, let's put it on FSR real quick, right? I don't know if you can do it with, I wonder. So I guess we can only use path tracing, right? So we're on path tracing. So without reconstruction, whoa, we're getting like 3 frames per second. Of course, it's gonna have to adjust. I think it's got to adjust. Maybe. Yeah, so without ray reconstruction, we're at 6 frames per second. I'm not even gonna try to walk because I don't want to crash the computer. So, but, you know, we'll try to use the FSR, right? We'll put it at, I don't know, balanced with the up to 40 sharpening. So we're going to do balanced FSR. Let's see what it does for us. Alright, it only gets us to 15. Okay, so that's not enough. So we're going to go to Ultra Performance. So Ultra Performance gets us 38 frames per second. And of course, this is still FSR 2.1. So FSR with path tracing, Ultra Performance, starting at a super high resolution, we're getting 37 frames per second. In here, we're probably gonna get like 32. So that makes sense. Now, I mean, it doesn't look terrible, like super terrible at all. I mean, it's definitely playable. Does it look as good as DLSS? I don't think so. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look as good as DLSS. I mean, there's no way. It's not even gonna come close. There's a lot of just a lot of anomalies. The plants in the distance look like clay.
That on purpose?
I mean, that's normal for FSR though, you know? Yeah, like the textures are just like, you know, you can't really tell in the video because I'm upscaling, I'm downscaling from a high resolution. Like you can see here the path tracing, it doesn't have the fine reflections obviously. Again, it's playable, like if you had to play it at a high resolution, you know. But it's not as good as DLSS. Doesn't look as good at all. It's more pixelated. It's more aliasing going on. Some things look like clay. You know, like the faces. Like you can see her face is like almost gone. You know, you can't even really make out people's face until you get like that close, like that close. Then I can see his face. I mean, I guess it depends too on the skin complexion maybe. Because some things, you know, some colors blend in with each other. You know, hey, there you are again.
I'm not afraid of anyone, you know? Huh.
So anyway, whatever, it's playable, but it doesn't look as good as DLSS. So let's go back to native again. Off. So we got path tracing on. Now I don't know, XESS it's only at 1.1, so I'm not sure exactly what's up with that. So again, we're on Ultra Psycho, path tracing on. We're gonna do XESS at quality with sharpening at 40. I don't think quality is gonna get us anywhere. Well, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Look at that. 13 frames per second. See, I don't know if it uses the tensor cores. I mean, if I was Intel, I would, you know, I would just get with NVIDIA and say, hey, man, can we use your tensor cores, you know? I don't know if they do or not, if it just uses the CUDA cores. Whoops, what am I doing? But that's not playable. So we're going to go down to performance because they don't have an ultra. Yeah, they don't have an ultra. It's a shame because this looks better than FSR, you know? It's a real shame that they don't have an ultra performance mode. That's kind of weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. They both have 6 steps though. You know? So this one starts out at, oh no, yeah. Auto. FSR has auto. Ultra quality. Quality. Yeah, so it kind of drops down quicker with the FSR, I guess. Yeah, they need like an ultra performance mode. Alright, so I'm not. What can we do now? Whoops. Ips. I forgot to. Let me just put it on ultra for right now, so I can move around. All right. So what happens if I don't really think that changing the I mean, it might help changing the graphics settings. So right now we're gonna start at desktop resolution, which is again 4224 by 2376, which is pretty high, you know, but you know, it is doing it at ultra performance. I'm gonna try to turn everything down to I don't know, medium. So I'm gonna turn everything down one step. How's that? Except for the color precision, the mirror quality, because we're not looking at mirrors. I'm gonna keep the LOD at high and the crowd density as high. So I pretty much turned down all the shadow stuff except for yeah, and screen space. I did that too. So we're like at the, I don't know what you want to call it, medium high setting. The other one was like high ultra, so now we're at medium high. Right. So let's turn off. Let's turn off ray reconstruction and see what we are. So we're still at like 6-7 frames per second. You know, the graphic settings really don't make a big difference because you're still gonna do the shadowing and you're still gonna do all the lighting no matter what. You know, whatever is in the world is going to cast shadows. So the texture resolution I don't think is gonna make a big difference. You know, not for a 3090. You know? But anyway, we're still going to put on ray reconstruction quality at these settings and see what we can start out with here. So we're still at like 15 frames per second. All right, so there's really no point in me really doing too much here. I'll start out over here in the worst area. So here we're at like 12, 13. So we'll keep going down. I'll go to performance. So performance still isn't enough. It's just amazing the big jump from like performance to ultra. So here it's the same as before. Yeah, so it's not really gonna be much different. Oops. Yeah, so here we're like 37. So again, we're still at the performance. You know, you can kind of make out the faces over there. Much better than FSR. So it didn't really seem to change much, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, we still got the nice reflections here. You can see everything. They don't seem to like really make them that much different. They don't dumb them down, I guess. Even if you're upscaling, you still get nice reflections. See? Yeah, so let's go down to 4K. We'll go down to 4K at medium, so let's turn off ray reconstruction. So we have path tracing on still, so we can see what the difference is. So we're at 8 frames per second with path tracing on. Yippee-ki-yay. So unplayable. So we're gonna go with quality DLSS ray reconstruction. Again, we're at the medium-high settings. So we're up to like upper teens now. I'm gonna go over here. To the bad area. So we're like at 15 frames per second here. So that's not going to be enough. So let's turn it down to performance. Still not enough. Wow. That's amazing. Everything looks really good though. Like super good. Even on performance. Looks really nice. Yeah, so ultra performance. We're in the 40s again. So there seems like there's a limit here. You know, like or ceiling I should say, that the 3090 can handle. You know. 1440 we probably will get much more gains, but again, since it's path tracing, you know, you're tracing the whole environment, so the textures aren't going to matter. Like, this could be the ugliest game in the world, you know, and if you path trace it, you're going to take a major performance hit.
We got a problem?
You know, because you're just tracing the rays everywhere. So, you know, the sun's coming up now. So out here we're getting like, you know, mid to upper 40s. In here we're getting, you know, 40s. So that's not bad. Alright, so we're going to go to a different resolution now. Off. So now we're going to go back down to 1440p. So we have just path tracing at medium high. And we're at like 14 frames per second again.
You gonna wait till I finish what I have to say?
Ooh, it's pretty rough, man. 15 frames per second. So we're gonna put on DLSS quality with ray reconstruction. Same settings, medium high. Give it a couple seconds. I usually do that and then, you know. So, you know, it looks like it's about the same as before. So we're like at 30. You know, we're exactly where we were before. So out here we're like in the mid 30s, low to mid 30s, not bad.
Tout bague en forme.
She's got a hologram outfit on. That's cool. Shame it's not nighttime. I can't fast forward, can I? Gosh, why? I don't understand. So let's try performance, 1440 performance with full ray reconstruction, medium high. We should get pretty good frames. So out here we're like low 50s. We got good reflections there. See that? Nice shadows going on here with the sun. Looking pretty good. Everything looks pretty nice. Looks very, very good. You know, these settings are important because, you know, having DLSS to go into, you know, quality, balance, performance, that makes a big difference because, you know, each person has different screen sizes, right? So you don't want to upscale from
What's up?
There were two Agways.
1080p. You don't want to do 1080p like performance and put it in full screen mode. I mean, that's going to look terrible. It's better to start out at like native 1440, you know, and then put on the upscaling, right?
Ever seen a map?
Hola.
You know where Haiti is and Pacifica is? Then they just got to land
I need
there.
medical advice?
And they drove all the way to
Oh, this
Pacifica.
guy.
And
Like,
they
what?
drove all the way to Pacifica.
So if you don't want to play at 30 frames per second at 1440, I mean, you can turn it down to, you know, performance. You know, ultra performance, obviously that's going to be, that's going to put you, looks like over 60. Yeah, ultra performance is over 60, but there's a lot of that, you know, noise. There's more noise. You can see more noise. You know, performance, it's pretty clear. You know, you don't see as much of that noise, if any, really. I don't see any. But when you get down to ultra, you definitely can see that noise. So I would play like this. It'd be better. Yeah, I don't know if like if we put that in video reflex. I wonder how far we can turn that. Yeah, we can put that on with boost. I don't know if that will help. I don't think it changed it too much. Might have dropped it a little. Yeah, so out here you're gonna get like in the 50s for sure. And everything looks pretty decent. You know? Pretty decent. It's not, you know, it ain't 4K. But if you wanted the performance, you could do it. Then of course we can go to 1080p again. Go up to DLSS quality, ray reconstruction. and you know, we're about where we were at 1440. So, well, the game just crashed. So, yeah, the game just crashed. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think there's much more I need to say. You know, the 3090 can handle the ray reconstruction pretty well at 1440 and 1080p. 4K, you know, you got to go to ultra performance. Looks like. So I don't think it's quite there for 4K, unfortunately. And there's really no reason to use FSR or XESS because it's just not, it's not better. You know, DLSS just looks better. So yeah, that's it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.